On one hand, Advaita has been encouraging people to wake up to the realization that there is no one here. In the mind-body organism, there is no one. That entity that is supposed to be you, with your name, is actually not there. There is a mind and body organism, we could say, and through it there is awareness. And that's it. There is no I, me, so and so. All that is stories of the mind. Awakening is that a realization. So when you realize that there is no one here, and in fact never was, that revelation calibrates. According to the map of consciousness, calibrates 1000. Advaita has been focusing on this very intensely, and it's a great service to humanity because we all need to wake up. On the other hand, Buddhism has been encouraging us to do another type of somersault, and that is to become detached from anything and everything. The best way to express this detachment is, in the ultimate, nothing is important. Nothing. Not even dying is important. And this is quite obvious, right? If you die today, 300 years from now, nobody's going to remember you. So was your death something important? No. It has importance only in the relative level of things. But in the big scheme of things, it's insignificant, the death of this body or yours or any other. And with that, every other event that may happen in life. And all the things that the ego gives so much importance to. Like, for example, health, money, relationships. So Buddhism has been encouraging us to detach ourselves, but not because of a capricious idea. It's because in that detachment there is happiness. When you become really detached from everything, there is peace. Peace under all circumstances. You could call it liberation. So when you look in the map of consciousness with kinesiology, you find that liberation calibrates at 900. Liberation from suffering. And when you calibrate the realization that nothing is important, that calibrates 940, which means that the Buddhists are right. If you reach that point where nothing is important, you're free. As well as Advaita is right, because if you reach that level where you're feeling empty all the time and there is no engagement with this fictional I, you're also free. Now, I have talked extensively about awakening and the value of awakening Today I'm going to talk about the value of detachment and how you can attain detachment. And what does it really mean? Because if you can reach 940, wow, you are really free. It's amazing to live at that level. So, how we can realize that nothing is important? I would suggest that you turn it into a simple practice. A very, very simple practice, but powerful. That whatever is going on in the present moment, whatever is agitating you emotionally, mentally, cognitively, you plaster on top of that the idea, nothing of this is important. Nothing of this is important means that not only the situation that is affecting you is not important, also your reaction, meaning the reaction of the mind-body organism that is feeling stressed out, tense, angry, fearful, that reaction is also not important. So when you say nothing of this is important, you are including the external situation as well as the internal reactions of the mind-body organism. The whole thing is not important. You don't need to attain a perfect attitude of freedom from negative emotion to experience detachment. Detachment is detachment from everything, including whatever the mind-body organism is experiencing. Because you are not the mind-body organism, you are not your emotions, you are not your thoughts, and you are obviously not the situation that is affecting the mind-body system and creating stress. You are nothing of that. So you can say with truthfulness, you can say, nothing of this is important. And that includes the reaction of the mind-body system. And here is the trick to practice this. Here is the key to practice this. Because what you are affirming is something very profound, which at the same time does not require you to be other than human. Because we humans do have emotions and reactions and thoughts about what's going on outside. So this is the key to practice detachment. It's a detachment that is so radical that considers everything external. Everything is external, including your feelings and thoughts. The only thing that is internal in your experience is you as consciousness, as the awareness that is observing and looking the thoughts coming and going, and the feelings coming and going, and the situations of your life coming and going. That's the only internal. Everything else, the whole mind, with all its stuff, is external. I need to make a parenthesis here to emphasize the importance or I would say the value of keeping in mind that this perspective, that nothing is important, is from an ultimate perspective. And at the level of relativity, at the level of the game, at the level of the illusion, you have to respect the dream, respect the game and its rules. In action, most especially. And also, if you have feelings or thoughts that are really disturbing or recurrent, you need to do something about them. You can't say nothing is important and use this ultimate perspective, which has immense value if it's applied with wisdom. And if it's applied stupidly, it will harm you. And you will likely harm others too. So keep in mind that the dream of life with its rules and its natural laws needs to be honored, respected. The realization that there is no one here leads to what has been called by Advaita awakening. You have detachment on one hand, awakening on the other hand. Do you need both? Absolutely. Because if you wake up to the realization that there is no one here, you will see that it will not take too long and it will turn into an understanding which is invaluable, no doubt. An understanding that will illuminate possibly the rest of your life and will make your life much easier than it was before. But it's not that you are going to stay in what could be called the awakened state, calibrating at 1000 in a constant rapture of emptiness, and the ego has disappeared forever. That's spiritual BS. So the understanding will be there, and that understanding is inviting you to embody the awakening. Many years ago, I began practicing detachment, practicing basically this powerful pointer. The pointer is, nothing of this is important. And it was helpful. The awakening had not happened. However, once awakening happened, it was much easier to practice this magnificent truth that comes from Buddhism. That actually, from an ultimate perspective, nothing is important. So wake up first, embody after. Get rid of the attachments and aversions after. The course that we offer at the Institute that allows you to attain both awakening and embodiment is called Psychology of Consciousness with emphasis in non-duality. During the first classes, the goal is to wake up to your true nature. And of course this involves some coaching sessions and video classes. And after a few classes and coaching sessions, the work moves towards embodiment. And the key to embodiment is what I have been explaining here, which is become free from attachments and aversions. Now look at the beauty of the map of consciousness from Dr. Hawkins. Using calibrations the other day with a friend, we discovered these amazing figures. Complete detachment, nothing is important, 940. Awakening, there is no one here, never was, 1000. Liberation, 900 only. So it gives you so much clarity about the path. You can become free of suffering through Buddhism, yes. You can become free of suffering through Advaita. But in order to sustain these things, really sustain them, you need to do both. In regard to the course that I mentioned, there is a link below this YouTube. Good luck to you.